Sounds good when you bring it straight like that. Evening show. Anytime I feel like this show that I'm cleaning this bit show. Alrighty then. So check it out. Ooh wee. Goddamn Republicans, man. Republicans talking about, listen, let me ask you something. We at a point now where Donald Trump is looking like he just, how you say, like everybody looking like, I don't care what side you were with on 2020, before 2020, 2021, 2022, as of 2023, everybody seemed like they really with Donald Trump. They like, man, Trump had this thing jumping. It just, after a while, the facts, all the emotions to the side, the facts just, reign supreme. People go to the gas station, the gas high. They go to the grocery store, the groceries high. The wage is not matching up, right? Everything high. So they're like, yo, this was not happening when Trump was in office. So what are we doing here? All right. So while like I've already said and stated before, this is a democratic country, yo. There's no way that with all the senators, legislators, congressmen, people that we have in office, that we go every 2 years to elect, to have in office, right? There's no way that they're supposed to be having it. It's supposed to be a situation where you have to wait for one man. Everybody waiting for 2024. There's no reason for that. There's no reason to be sitting around waiting for 2024. You dig? There's no reason for that. There's no reason to be sitting around waiting for 2024 for Donald Trump to become the president of the United States again. It's only for 4 years. You dig? It's only for 4 years before they just really realize and decide that, okay, yeah, Donald Trump, he's the president for right now, for these 4 years, or for these next 4 years, right? So if that's the case, first, let's go with Trump. Why isn't Trump, all the things he got going on, there's a chance, I don't know if it's a strong chance or not, possibly, a slight chance that he may not become president 2024 just for some kind of technicality, some kind of reason for what he's got going on. But it's a slight chance. It's a really slim chance. It kind of feel like, like y'all for real sometimes when you really see it. You dig? So if that is the situation, why isn't he rearing someone up? He has sons, right? He got sons, he got daughters, daughter-in-laws. He got people in his family that he's close to him or close with him, right? It's not weird for him to have somebody. It's not weird for Donald Trump to have. Why doesn't Donald Trump have, listen to me, why doesn't Donald Trump have this? Why isn't Donald Trump rearing up someone that can take his place and say, hey, these are the policies that I have? I mean, everybody knows his policy. He told everybody his policies, and they work. Say what you want about the man, but they work. All his policies are working. All his policies are working. That's why he's like really uncontested. That's why when you get all the emotion out the way, you can't really say much, because when it comes to the facts, everything he was doing was working. everything he was doing was working, right? So why doesn't he have someone else in his place that he's bringing up to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Let the people know that this is what you'll be doing next. You'll just be following all the same game plan, the same policies. This is what you will be doing next, right? Why doesn't he say that? Why? All right, that's Trump. So why doesn't the rest of the Republicans knowing now, not only are they ready for Donald Trump, this is how bad it is. And this is how, because this is how bad it was, this is how bad we knew it was going to be. Most of us. I know I said it. This is how bad we knew it was going to get. So people are now, not only do the people really want Trump back or want Trump to return for office, they want nothing to do with the Democrats. People that have voted Democrats for years, maybe some generations, at this day and time, want nothing to do with the Democrats. How is it possible that the Republican Party doesn't get together and say, hey, whatever happens, we're going to follow the policies that Trump had in place. We're just going to pick up where he left off. Is that not just an easy win? Right? Yet and still, they're bickering between each other and infighting and doing all this kind of nonsense when all of them could get together as a party and say, whatever happens, I don't care who, if you get in, if I get in, if he gets in, if she gets in, whatever happens, we're going to just go ahead and follow the same policy Donald Trump has. You know why? Well, this is some of the reason. Some of the reasons why, because these people are not fully Republican. These people are not fully Republican. Some of these people are plants or people that are double-sided, playing both sides, two-faced, crazy looking type, just really, same stuff that Democrats do, yet and still that they are Republicans on the Democrat side. Really with Democrat policies, really with Democrat handlers or Democrat supporters that are like, have the financial backing from some Democratic supporters. Kind of, people like Nikki Haley, things of that nature. Like, it's just crazy. It should be so easy. They should all get up there and say, no matter what happens, we'll all just follow Trump's policies and just pick up where he left off. You dig? So what does that leave the American people? Because we're looking at it like, they just playing around. There's no way. When you look at Joe Biden, and you just look at him as a president, you say, you know what? For everything that he's done at this time, how is he still the president? Right? How is he still the president of the United States? What do you have to do? Right? It's literally the question is, what do you have to do to be impeached? Like, he's done everything possible that will cause a president to be impeached. So the question is now, what more do you have to do? How bad does it have to get before they impeach you? That is a simple question. There's no way. If you would have told somebody even before Trump got in office, while Trump was in office, there's no way you could have said, man, so we're going to have a president, hypothetically speaking, we're going to have a president to cause inflation to skyrocket. The price of gas went from $2 to $4, nearly doubled. In California, I think it's $7, $8 at the time for gas. How is it that a president can allow 12,000 people to cross the border in one day? In one day. Almost millions of people, undocumented immigrants, have entered the country, and those are the ones that they counted. that they knew were coming in the country. There's millions more that they call gotaways that they never found. Never found these people. They don't know where they are. You understand this? This is crazy. Where does a president go and lose a war in peacetime? How can you lose a war in peacetime? How in the world do you leave and exit the country that you're at war with and leave your weapons behind? And leave $1 million worth of weapons behind. And you can't say you left it with the governing party or the governing country that was supposed to be governing the country. You can't even use that excuse, because a lot of the people, once they found out that they were leaving, they left before the U.S. left. So you can't say we left the weapons with the Iraqi military. The Iraqi military, once they heard the U.S. was leaving, jumping ship and getting out of town, they got out of town before the U.S. could. How crazy is that? And then look what happens in the Middle East now. How is it possible with all of this happening and you're still the president of the United States? That's why these videos have become seldom, because now it's like, okay, so if this is the case, you mean everybody on the Republican side that complain about this on all the news outlets every day, and then they ended with, yeah, so we can't wait till Trump in 2024. Like, they said this since 2021. They complain about this since 2020. The same thing that's happening now was happening in 2021. They complained about it every day, and the only response was, we can't wait until it happens, until Trump comes into 2024. What kind of nonsense is that? That is ridiculous. That makes no sense at all. American people at this time, seeing how the votes, it was a test for them. It was like, okay, you know what? They did some absolute fraudulent activity with mail-in voting in 2020. Then they turned around in 2022, have so many discrepancies in Arizona to where I think even, and across the country, some of the judges have actually thrown out some of the voting because of rapid election fraud. Do you stop voting? No. What do you do though? Not only do you vote, right now you vote with your dollars. That's the main thing they respect, is to vote with your dollars. Check this out. Budweiser played around because they thought it was cool. Every major company was doing it. They thought it was a marketing tactic for them to go around. And who pushed it first? Target. Target did it first. Who else did it? Postmates, advertising for queers and some all kind of nonsense. What type of food the queers need to eat. It was gross, man. And Budweiser, because what happened is that they get a lot of attention, and it's like, people in the Hollywood and things like that nature, they're retarded, so they feel like, all press is good press. Not all the time, but that's some of the terms they use. All attention is good attention. All press or all publicity is good publicity. Isn't that what they say? It's freaking weird. So check this out. Budweiser thought that they were going to jump on the bandwagon and go ahead and have some transgender represent their brand, and a so-called American brand for so many years. Everybody know Budweiser. An American staple. They were going to put a transgender queer and have it represent Budweiser. And then they found out. And they lost billions. Billions. I didn't say millions, though. Billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. Damn near overnight. And they haven't recovered. And if you notice, right? If you notice when that happened, that's when people really started waking up. Like, oh, that's when the Democrats started somewhat infighting. And we're not with all. Not all of us now with all this transgender stuff. Not all of us is with this. Yeah, Biden might not be the best representative for us. That's when it started. Like, okay, yeah, They started listening. Like, okay, so people aren't going for what the Democratic corrupt agenda is. But they ain't start to respect the decision of the people and what they really wanted until those dollars started coming up missing. Until those billions started getting lost. That's when they started saying, right? So, with that being said, the best thing for the American people to do now is still continue to vote, but vote with your dollars and just be aware of what's going on. Because really, they're playing a dirty game. And they're the only ones who are going to end up on the wrong side of this. Because remember what I told you. I said, because most of us I just go to the polls, go to vote my dollars. Yet it's still, they don't see the different places. Like, I said this before, I'll say it again. Don't let America lose the ability for people to respect their ability and their right. Don't let America lose their ability and their right and their respect for voting. That they become because right now that's what America is, third world. It's becoming a third world corruption. America used to be respected for, okay, yeah, this is at a certain level, and this is way too corrupt. We can't get good down. Like, this is supposed to be America. Oh, let America get to the point to where it's so corrupt. Don't let America get to the point to where it's so corrupt that it becomes like a third world country where the people have to march in the streets before they see change. That's what they got to do overseas. And they call it third world, but that's even certain, supposed to be, what they call it? Progressive or advanced countries. Countries like France, if they got an issue in France, they don't be waiting for voting. They don't wait for voting time. They don't wait for the next voting election season before they go to get the vote. Before they want to see change, they go out in the street. Who wants to do that? I'm trying to go out in the street and all that nonsense like that. Well, it's America. We're supposed to be dignified and go to the polls. Go put our poll. Go vote. And let our voices be heard. London, Brazil, Germany. You saw what finally happened in Germany? What was it, late 1988, late 1980s, early 90s? With the Berlin Wall, they had two sides of Germany. People got tired and tore the wall down themselves. Nobody could do anything about it. So, it's very easy. Just watch and see. It's very easy. Republicans know they got this thing at this time. They know they have it pretty much sewn up. There should be no problem. It should be all votes for Republicans. Republicans should be getting all the votes. The people in Chicago, like I said, generational people who were voting for Democrats said, look, we're no longer voting for these Democrats at all. I don't know what took them so long. But everybody comes to things at a certain groups at a certain time. It got to. Sometimes some things have to really get to a point to where it's like, yo, this is crazy. You have absolutely disenfranchised the citizens of the United States for people who have never even collected a paycheck here. And you know what happens when we collect paychecks? Before we collect our paychecks, before the citizens collect their paychecks, the government gets their cut first. So these people who have never collected a paycheck in this country are getting benefits and pushing the citizens of people who have been here for years, pushing them out of the way. And Democrats in Chicago are like, no, we're no longer voting Democrat. Not at all. Not at all. So find a Republican candidate that, if you want to make it easy, which is most things in life are, find a Republican candidate that stands on everything that you don't have to wait for Donald Trump. Find a Republican candidate that stands on everything that Donald Trump stood on or was about. Find the Republican candidates that, when they put up a bill for Mayor Mayorkas, for Mayorkas, the immigration, its exact term, but he's over the immigration, he's over the border, he's over the illegal crossings, he's over immigration in the U.S. When they put up, some Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene have tried to impeach him, right? There are Republicans who voted not to impeach this man. What? How does that make sense? How is it possible that you can get with other Republicans and get on Fox News and get on Newsmax and get on all these other outlets and complain about how, and let me just, don't forget, and get on CNN, because remember, CNN was very pro-Democrat with all the retardedness. And then they lost a lot of money. They lost a lot of viewers. They lost a lot of finances. And now they're starting to sound more like Fox News. Yeah, that's right, CNN. It's starting to sound a lot more like Fox News, because they lost money for the nonsense that they were pushing. So they get on these news outlets and complain about it every day for going on 3 years. And then when it's time to vote to impeach these people and get them out of there so things can change, they don't vote against it. These Republicans, they call them rhinos. I don't care what kind of term you call them. They call them fake. You're not a Republican. You're not for conservative policies. You're not for what you say you are. It's that simple. All right? So you find out who those Republicans are, and you don't vote for them. You don't support them. But you find in Georgia, you find Republicans like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Brian Kemp. I don't know if he has another term coming. I don't know how many terms the governor's got. I think it's only 2, but I'm sure of this. I want to say, I would hope, more than likely, once his term is over, the next person that runs for governor, he'll say, they get my endorsement. They're going to run the state like I would run the state. I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy. Republicans on the way. All right. Everybody it's just like it's going to be more and more and more. And it already is. Like I said, it's stated on, you could look the video up for the young lady in Chicago saying that she's voting Republican. People that voted, nobody's voting Democrat anymore. So now the only thing is finding the right Republicans. That's it. It makes it real easy. Find a Republican, find the best one. Find the one that's voting on Trump policies. And vote with your dollars. CNN was suffering. Budweiser suffering for going for these Democrat policies. It's done. No more.